Casey Wiskid here with a Bitfenix Prodigy M. This is a little mini tower case, micro ATX motherboard supported, for example, that you can install in this nice little guy here. Very similar to the Prodigy case that I reviewed from Bitfenix not too long ago. Comes with these awesome flexible handles. Again, very nice soft touch on them. White or black. I'm using the white one today as the example of it. Of course, lots of drive bays, of course, so you can install different types of devices. SSD drives, up to 5 of them. Wow, I tell you, this case, if you pick your components right, you can make this an awesome high-end PC in a tight little space. Comes with two 120mm fans, okay, included in there, but lots of room for upgrading. Power, reset, mic, headset, two USB 3.0 plugs right there. That's pretty much it. Clean lines, white Arctic look and feel on this one, inside and out. You can see the ventilation there beside the PCI Express slots that can be released using the thumb screw, and of course the included 120mm rear fan right there, and the exhaust, the I/O ports there. Now it comes with a heat shield at the bottom, a magnetic heat shield that basically protects hot air from re-entering back into the case. So if your power supply is spitting out hot air, you don't want that hot air coming back and going on your hard drives, for example. So that's very nice. The other side of the case, the other panel, again, is a clean sheet. And on the top of that, no real change. This is the same as the previous Prodigy. So from the outside, it kind of looks the same. It's the inside that really is different. And if I take out that top panel, which of course has a dust filter, underneath that is basically your 240mm radiator or two 120mm fans that you can install under that. Of course, I definitely recommend putting in a nice liquid cooling solution in this little box if you can do that. And that will enable you to pick and choose components wisely. So, you know, things can fit in here. It's just a matter of figuring out how much room do you have, right? So it's very tight. Some of the spaces, of course, is heavy, high quality construction, by the way. This is not a flimsy case. You can see here the large CPU cooler replacement hole there on that motherboard tray with the standoffs. You can see that. So you get a good idea on your micro ATX motherboard that you'd be installing in here. Putting in a nice CPU cooler. Definitely recommend putting a liquid CPU cooler, not a tower in there. However, you could put a low profile tower in there, no problem, to keep the CPU cool. The other side of the case reveals lots of room to maneuver. SSD drive mounts, as you can see there. Total of 5 throughout the case. You can see the hinges there, the holes, so you can install SSD drives on one side. If you don't want to install it on there, no problem. Power supply goes upward, so upright, installed in that bracket, which comes out, of course. So you take it out, put in your power supply, put it back in there. Cables would face the top. Definitely recommend that you get a modular power supply for this case, okay, so you don't have a clutter of cables. And on the other side again of the case, where we have the CPU cutout hole, you can see the 120mm fan on the side and on the bottom that I mentioned come included. Optical drive can slide through the top, and again, not too much room to maneuver there between the power supply and the optical drive, so it's going to be pretty tight. Cables are going to be, you know, packed there at the top, so keep that in mind. Here's a look at the case again with stuff in it. 2 cards can fit in there, 2 SLI cards depending on the motherboard that you get and the type of video cards, you know, with the CPU cooling or GPU cooling that it comes with. You can install 2 cards in Crossfire. And there's another look at the black edition with SSD drives on that panel. Very nice, very sweet looking case. Lots of options there for cooling. Comes with the manual, the USB header extension cable there, some twist ties, all the screws that you would need, and the 5 plates there for your PCI Express slot. So very nice case. I'll put the latest pricing from Bitfenix at the bottom of the videos if you're interested in purchasing it. And I'd like to thank Bitfenix for providing it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.